Bickley and Marana Mornings. Arizona Sports. The local sports leader. Bickley Blast.
We are on the eve of a brutal anniversary in Arizona. Tomorrow marks the day the Suns forged a 2-0 lead in the 2021 NBA Finals, and 4 years later, our NBA franchise is still without a trophy, and the future has rarely looked so bleak. Which brings us to the Diamondbacks, a team that was 3 wins away from a World Series title in October of 2023, and less than 2 years later, they are threatening to become one of the more disappointing, low-wattage, underachieving teams in our pathetic, pitiful history as a sports town, and it's as if the IDGAF plague has worked its way across Jefferson Street from one franchise to another. And I say that because on Sunday, the Diamondbacks were held to 3 hits and shut out for the second time this season. They finished a pivotal homestand with a 3-7 record. They began the day celebrating their 3 All-Stars and finished the day with a strong message to ownership that there really is no reason to invest any further into a team that cannot be bothered into playing consistent baseball. It's beyond frustrating waiting for a real contender to emerge from this soft and soggy baseball team. And while injuries are certainly a factor, on Sunday, the Diamondbacks didn't bother taking the field pregame, doing all their prep work indoors, and not surprisingly, it resulted in another sleepy effort that has become way too common with this team. And alas, it's also way too common for Valley sports fans to see another potential title-winning team devolve into something much different and much worse.
Yeah, the homestand was set up by a couple tough losses in the Miami series. Just continue to build frustration. It's just the nature of the game and where we're at right now. We're battling injuries. We know that sometimes this game can be a little cruel to you, but we're all conditioned to that. We've all known that that's part of the game, and this is the next man up, and to go out there and play your game and expect to win games. So the homestand, you go 3-7 at home in a space that we feel very comfortable playing in with great fans, and it doesn't work out. It's really frustrating for sure.
That the voice of Torey Lovullo after yesterday's game. Before we move on, I want to tell you something funny that happened to me last night. So, this is a writer. Anybody who's spent their career in journalism like I did, you do a lot of writing on deadline. You cover a lot of live sporting events, and there's a lot of pressure on you to get a coherent story done and press the button sent to your editors in a timely manner.
I may or may not have a Bradley Beal story pretty much done already.
Oh, there you go.
Yeah.
There you go.
Yeah.
So, and it was in my era of print journalism, those deadlines are non-negotiable. When you're writing in the digital age, the deadlines, they don't exist. But in the newspaper world, so as a result, people like me and many, many other writers would frequently have dreams of blowing deadline, right? You can't get your thoughts together. You can't get words on paper. They're screaming at you because it's your worst fear as a writer. Last night, I had my first dream ever that the Bickley Blast arrived, Jarrett, and I couldn't find it on my computer screen. And you're like, come on. And I can't find it anywhere. And so the whole segment from 8 to 8:15 was just like you covering for me.
Oh, no.
As I was trying to scramble.
That is a nightmare.
It was literally a nightmare.
I still have the school dreams where, I sleep through a final exam or whatever. I still have those. Those are the nightmares that stick with me in terms of, stress and anxiety from other situations per se. But, that comes up for sure. I even, get that anxiety in the moment. When we're waiting in the locker room for someone to get out of the shower, I'm like, all right, guys, I'm keeping someone at the desk right now. Let's go.
Right,
got a deadline to hit.
Right.
Yeah.
So it was it was quite something,
You
Jarrett.
were glad to look at your computer screen just now and, in fact, see the Bickley Blast.
I was
there.
I really, really was. And it was weird. In my dream, I was trying to find it. And sometimes, you have a cursor problem where it jumps and darts. And,
That's the thing. I always have dreams where I'm looking for, a break, and I just can't find it. I can't load it or something like that. Or the classroom. I can't find the classroom, or I'm lost, and I'm it's the worst. What's with the brain?
Yeah, right. So as it pertains to this baseball team, the frustration I think we're all wearing and feeling with this team is we're waiting for them to get to the next level, to be that team that we expect them to be, and they just can't get there. And I think Jared's been saying it for a while. Maybe that's because they can't be that team. Maybe they're incapable of being that team. Because on Saturday...
We're more than halfway through the year.
Yeah. On Saturday, they gave Ryan Nelson the ball, and he went out, had a perfect game for 5 1/3. The team poured it on late. The Randall Grichuk inside the park home run moment. It was all great. And you're like, okay, they've given themselves a chance to win this series against the Royals and to kind of get out of this homestand with their dignity intact. And then you got another really, really sleepy offensive performance. And it's just, it's beyond maddening.
It's frustrating to watch for sure. And with that frustration comes 2 more injuries yesterday. Pavin Smith on the 15-day IL, Ryan Thompson now on the 15-day IL. Thompson has been having like a phenomenal 6 weeks, almost making up for how brutal it was for him at the start of the year. Pavin Smith has been regressing pretty significantly over the last 2 months, but with that being said, it's him and Josh Naylor pretty much patrolling the DH and the first base options in terms of like facing off against lefties. That's where Randall Grichuk has come in the fold, but they faced a righty yesterday, and they put Grichuk in there as well. Here's manager Torey Lovullo yesterday on the All-Star break with this kind of discussion in mind, if it's coming at the wrong time or the right time.
I don't want anybody to look forward to the break. I want us to play all the way through it. So we've got 7 games left before it happens, and we're right in that critical point of determining which way our season will go. And you usually chop it up pre-break and post-break. So we still got 7 games to go. My expectation or my standard and my thought is that we're going to play good baseball. So maybe we need a little bit of a recharge, and once we get there, we can feel that. But for right now, there is no goal line. There is no finish line. Let's just keep playing hard baseball, and make good things happen.
I think that sound you hear is like Torey anxiously scratching his arm as he tries to remain optimistic about this. Here's one more from Torey on the tough road ahead to make the playoffs.
My plan is every day is to work as hard as I can, be the best manager for this baseball club, and we know what's in front of us. We've had some tough times this year. We've had some great times, and I want there to be more positive times in the second half. So I can't worry about all that stuff. If I worry about it, I'm not giving myself a chance to be the best manager possible. So I totally get what you're thinking, but no, there's no panic in that clubhouse. I think that group feels like we've yet to play our best baseball, and they know something's coming. And we get there, you'll know when we start playing good baseball, we're going to catch some people or do whatever we have to do to get in this race.
Dan, plenty of time for you and Vince to do this in September and October, but crazy to think where we were 3 months ago. And I can't help but think that when hearing Torey's voice and just the tone that he has there, we were talking about this as at worst the 3rd best team in the National League.
Yeah.
We thought that they were going to be that great, and even through the injuries, we know the ceiling that they could still reach, and they can't just find it. Torey has had teams he's managed before where they can't find it, and then they do. He's had the opposite of that happen as well, but this just looks stuck in the mud.
Well, listen, if I compare what went down with the Suns and how they've devolved since that NBA Finals appearance, and again, 4 years from tomorrow will be the day they led 2-0 in the NBA Finals, and we thought it was right there for the taking. And here we are 4 years later. You wonder, when it comes to this baseball team and the low wattage nature of them, the consistently inconsistent, the not able to sustain high levels of play throughout the span of 10 days, 2 weeks. You wonder exactly why that is. What are the internal factors that are leading to this? And you wonder about Torey Lovullo and how this season is going to either wear on him or reflect on him. Now, I've been among Torey's biggest fans, and that's been pretty obvious. But at the same time, if you're the owner of the team and you've put all this money into this team, it's pretty clear they're not going to blow out Torey this year and opt for a change of voice. At least it seems that way to me. I mean, this is his 10th season here. I think he's certainly, given all the injuries, deserves the chance to see this thing to the finish line. But the owner put a lot of money into this team, and they're not getting the consistent, urgent kind of performances that you can easily correlate to the manager. You can draw a straight line if you want to. I mean, look, and if you're an owner, you can find any reason to fire a head coach or a manager. But a low wattage team that underperforms, that underachieves, you can lay that on a manager conceptually very easily.
We know we haven't seen the low point of the season yet, so I'm waiting for that to inevitably sort of arrive before having that type of conversation specifically. I was looking this up while you were talking, Dan. The last time that the D-backs were either 5 games under 500 or 5 games over 500 was April 22nd when they were 14-9. So since then, they've been hovering either a little bit over 500 or a little bit under 500. Just not good enough consistency, to your point.
Thanks for watching Bickley and Murata. Click to see the latest Bickley Blast and hit the button in the middle to subscribe to Arizona Sports.